umanikidzwe kuda munhu nokurohwa. ZANU yaona ku 24 and 25 kana usina kunorejista uine makore ari 18 haikona kuzoonekwa unosungwa chinja.
Tinoda kuvaka a different Zimbabwe. Tinoda kuvaka a democratic Zimbabwe. Now, a democratic Zimbabwe is not going to be built by another undemocratic process. Now, continuation of ZANU-PF policies and the ZANU-PF's character and culture must end. Yeah, the violence, yeah, the human rights abuses, yeah, the violation of the constitution must stop.
There's been a perception and a distortion of what is the cause of the crisis in Zimbabwe. It is not a race issue. It is no longer a colonial issue. It is a misgovernance. It is a governance crisis that we face. With all its manifestations of breakdown of the rule of law, selective application of the law, the question of the independence of the judiciary, the question of free media. That is the crisis and the root cause of the Zimbabwean crisis. And the refusal to accept that the people of Zimbabwe have the independence to choose their leaders. Because some people believe they have a divine right, because they participated in the liberation struggle, they have a divine right to rule forever and ever and ever. So I think that people need to understand the crisis, the corruption that is there, the creation of a small elite at the expense of everyone else.
What we have is more of the same. Unless you change fundamentally the governance culture, it's just replacing one individual with another individual with the same character and same culture. So I think it is foolhardy to think that replacing Mugabe with Emerson Mnangagwa without the fundamental reforms that are needed to transform the institution of governance, then you're wasting your time. You just have the same perpetuation of the same culture.
What are those reforms that are necessary for a free and fair and uncontested outcome? The Constitution is very clear that there has to be a media environment where there is no hate speech. Every participant has got access to state media. That has not happened. Although we have agreed over the last 4 years to do it, nothing has been implemented. The second issue is, of course, the fact that the Constitution has made a number of reforms with regards to the security sector. What is now left is for that security sector to have a code of conduct during elections. We know that a number of security activists are deployed around the country. That should not be the case. We know that police are interfering and actually arresting people for mobilizing people to register. We know that. You cannot have a security sector which then abuses people when they want to exercise their right. So that is the code of conduct we would expect to be implemented. The third area is, of course, the laws must be aligned to the new constitutional provisions. You have, especially those laws that impinge on the elections. You have POSA, which affects the right of people to associate freely and to organize freely. You have AIPA, which affects the media environment. You have the Electoral Act itself has to be adjusted because we are moving from a constituent-based election law to a hybrid with proportional representation. That law has to be adjusted. Now, the electoral environment, the amendments, these amendments, I'll come back to specific on the electoral amendment, what we decided yesterday. But I must say, those laws must be aligned to the new constitution.
It is my wish to make sure that everyone is able to have a meal every day. That everyone has a house to live into. That old people are looked after. That young people are employed. You cannot create those conditions. Ne naro, ne asha, ne hondo, ne all that.
I've always been political, but started involving myself in trade union activities at the mine.
Right.
I became a mine worker leader with Jeffrey Mtandare then, and that's how I entered politics. The moment I entered trade union politics, I also entered politics. So I then moved on from the union to the National Confederation of Trade Unions,
Right.
the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions, as Secretary General. And of course, the social and economic and the crisis of governance just enveloped us.
I think the people of this country want change because Mugabe's government has betrayed the very revolution that he was leading. It is his government that has amassed wealth to the small ruling elite, that have destroyed the economy and the future of this country, that has created conditions for mass unemployment and destruction of the only economic infrastructure that was there. He is the one which has created insecurity and lack of confidence in this economy. So who has betrayed the interests of Zimbabweans other than him?